Hello, my dear lovely students at Al Muhammadiyya School and Kindergarten. I hope you and your families are feeling great. In last week's video, we explained all about passive forms. In this week, we are going to put those rules into practice. Okay? We are going to solve student book pages 79 and 81, workbook pages 70 and 72. Shall we start? Before we start with our exercise, let's review quickly the present passive. How do we form it? The present passive is formed with the correct form of the verb to be and the past participle. We agreed that the past participle is verb 3. That means everything that we are going to solve on page 87 from your student book and 78 in your workbook, we are only going to deal with the present passive. Let's have a look at the text. This is exercise number 1. Look at the example of the passive in blue in the text, then read and complete. Oil is found deep under the ground. It is formed from tiny plants and animals that lived in the sea millions of years ago. Oil has many uses. It is used to power vehicles such as cars, planes, and trains, and many plastics are made from oil. Scientists believe that global warming is caused by the burning of oil and other fossil fuels, so they are trying to develop alternative sources of energy. After reading the paragraph, let's try to find out some examples of the present passive. Okay, can somebody think of the first example? Yes, oil is found deep under the ground. As you can see, we started with is and it is followed by verb 3. Another example of the present passive is again. It is formed by tiny plants and animals that live in the sea for millions of years ago. Again, we used the verb is plus verb 3, which is the past participle, correct. What else? We have the one in blue. It is used to power vehicles such as cars, planes, and trains. And can you find another one? Can you find another example of passive? Yes, we have many plastics are made from oil. In this case, we used are because we're talking about plural, which are many plastics. Can you think of another one? Yes, global warming is caused by burning of oil and other fossil fuels. Another one. Are there any more? No, there aren't. So this is all for this paragraph. Exploit. Choose the correct word to complete the sentence. Number 1. Computers. Is or are used in most schools. So computers, they have an S. They're countables. So what's the appropriate verb to be for that? Yes, it's are. Let's see number 2. Coffee is or are ground in Kenya. Coffee is uncountable. That's why we deal with it as a singular noun. So we are going to use is. Correct. 3. The Olympic Games is or are watched by millions of people around the world. So again, we have the Olympic Games is the subject of this sentence. It is a plural one, so we are going to use yes, are. 4. Plastic bags, this is the subject, isn't or aren't provided to customers in our local supermarkets. We have plastic bags. So they are plural and we are going to use aren't. Arabic is or are spoken in Algeria. Arabic is the language. So we use is because we have only one Arabic, which is our language. Would. Countable or uncountable? It's uncountable. And by here we mean would is or are used to make paper. Yes, would is. Millions of items is or are. Yes, we are going to use are because we're talking about things with S. Items, sorry. Bought and sold on the internet every day. Finally, 8. Paris is or are known as the city of lights. It's only one, so we're going to use is. Exercise 2. Complete the sentences with the present simple passive. Match the description of the process from 1 to 5 with pictures A to E. How oil is refined. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the processes. We're going to have to put in these little square boxes. We're going to have to put the letters A, B, C, D, and E, which represent the given process. Let's start. The ground is surveyed by geologists. The oil dash located deep underground. So we have the oil. Is it singular or plural? Yes, it's singular. We're going to deal with it as singular because it is uncountable. Yes, correct. So we say the oil is located underground. Which is the appropriate picture for that? Yes, E. This is the first sentence. Is located. Number 2. Once oil dash located. What's the correct answer? Yes, is located. Derricks. Derricks are these. Okay, these are used to drill. Okay, so you have to drill. Okay, they are fixed in an upright position, and after that you drill for the oil to come out. Okay, so once oil is located, dricks. We have an S here. That means we're going to use are erected, and holes is or are. Yes, we are going to use are drilled into the ground. What's the appropriate picture for that? Yes, it's B. Number 3. The oil. We agreed oil is uncountable, so we are going to use is. What's the verb 3 from pump? It's pumped from underground to the surface. The oil is carried, yes, by pipeline to an oil refinery. What's the appropriate picture for that? Yes, it's D. Question number 4. At the refinery, the oil, again, oil, we agree that this is uncountable, so we say is separated into different products such as gasoline, kerosene, and diesel oil. Most of these, we're talking about these, this means it is a plural. That means we are going to say are used. Verb 3 from use is used to power vehicles. So where is the refinery? Which picture? Yes, it's picture number 1. Oh, sorry, picture A. 5. Some of the products, we have products, so that means is or are. Yes, we're going to use are, and the verb 3 of combine is combined with other things to make plastics and chemicals. So the correct picture would be C, and this is the correct answer. Exercise 3. Write questions for these answers. So the answers are at the beginning of each question. Okay, so this is the answer for number 1. This is for number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What do we need to do with those? We need to use the words in brackets and the present simple passive. So, do you see the words in brackets here? So here we're going to have to use the present simple passive to make a question. Let's read the example. 1. Deep underground. This is the answer. What? The oil located. Sorry, where the oil located. So the oil, is it singular or plural? We agreed that it is uncountable and we're going to deal with it as a singular. So we say, where is the oil located? This is the verb 3 from locate. 2. It is pumped. How? The oil. Okay, so we agreed this is singular. And after that we have bring. Verb 3 from it is brought to the surface. Let's try to do to give the correct answer. So we say, how is the oil brought to the surface? 3. By pipeline. How the oil carry to the refinery. So we agreed oil is singular. So we say, how is the oil carried to the refinery? How is the oil carried to the refinery? Number 4. Gasoline, kerosene, and diesel oil. The question, what products? We have again the oil. Separate into, what's the correct answer? Let's see, did you guess correctly? What products is the oil separated into? 5. To power vehicles like cars, buses, lorries. These are vehicles. Ships maybe. Okay. What? Gasoline, kerosene, and diesel. We have the oil mostly used for. So the question is, what are gasoline, kerosene, and diesel oil mostly used for? Okay, because here we're talking about gasoline, kerosene, and diesel oil. We're talking about more than one thing. 6. To make plastics and chemicals. Why? some of the products combined with other things. So we have here products. So are we going to use is or are? So we say, why are some of the products combined with other things to make plastics and chemicals? Now, let's shift to workbook page 78. Write the words in the correct order to make passive sentences. This means you see the words here, you only need to arrange them for you to have a meaningful sentence. You don't have to add anything. Let's read example number 1. We have book, China, printed, is this in. The correct order is this book is printed in China. 2. Made laws by Parliament are. The correct answer is laws are made by the Parliament. 3. Year committed crimes a of lot are every. The correct order is a lot of crimes are committed every year. 4. Is made cheese, milk from. The correct answer is cheese is made from milk. 5. Played in rugby, Australia is. The correct answer is rugby is played in Australia. Final one, number 6. To power oil products used vehicles are. The correct answer is oil products are used to power vehicles. Complete the sentences. Use the present passive of the verbs in the box. The verbs are not allow, export, include, make, not sell, speak, use, and watch. So these are the verbs that you have to fill in the sentences from 1 to 8. But remember to put is or are before the verb 3 from these because these are passive sentences. Let's read number 1. Cars are exported to countries all over the world. 2. Petrol. Petrol is made from oil. 3. Magazines. Magazines aren't sold in that shop. 4. You dash to ride bikes in the park. So you aren't allowed to ride bikes in the park. 5. How many languages? We have languages is or are. are, and the correct verb is spoken. In the UK. 6. This reality TV show is watched by millions of people every week. This room is only used when you have guests. And final one is service included in the bill? Exercise 3. Look at pictures from 1 to 6. Complete the sentences about the making of paper. Use the present simple passive. Then number the sentence in the correct order. So these are the sentences that we have to fill in using the present simple passive. And after that, we're going to look at the pictures and how they are ordered and fill in these small boxes with numbers. Let's start. Paper is an amazing invention. Millions of tons of paper are used in schools and offices every day. But now, what's the form here? Yes. Is it made? Next, the mixture, and we have press. So the mixture is pressed onto large flat metal sheets. Next, the rolls of paper are sent to factories. The paper, yes, is made into books, magazines, and hundreds of other things. The sheets of paper, we have sheets, so we are going to use are dried, then they are put into big rolls. Trees, we have trees, so we are going to use are grown. Yes. On a tree farm, the trees are cut down, then new trees are planted. Next, the chips are cooked with a lot of water. The wood, yes, is taken by lorry to the paper mill. The wood, yes, is cut into small pieces. Now, let's go back to those sentences and think of them or how they are ordered. Let's think. What is the first thing that is done? Yes, this is number 1. So trees are grown on a tree farm. The trees are cut down, then new trees are planted. Number 2. Yes, this is number 2. The wood is taken by lorry to the paper mill. The wood is cut into very small pieces called chips. Number 3. Yes, this is number 3. Okay, the chips are cooked with a lot of paper. Where is number 4? So now it becomes a mixture. So this is number 4. The mixture is pressed onto large flat metal sheets. 5, we're talking about the sheets of paper. So now the sheets of paper are dried. Then they are put into big rolls. Finally, this is number 6. The rolls of paper are sent to factories. The paper is made into books, magazines, and hundreds of other things. This is all for the activity. Now, let's go to student book page 89 and start exploit. Match and complete the active and passive sentences with the same meaning. So here you have from 1 to 6, these are in the active form. From A to F are in the passive form. So you have to match each sentence from the active form with one from the passive. Let's read the example for more illustration. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite in 1867. The correct answer would be E. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel in 1867. Number 2. They have discovered a number of planets outside our solar system. What's the correct passive form? Let's see. So it would be D. A number of planets have been discovered. 3. In the past, sailors starts to navigate. What's the appropriate sentence for that? Come on, think. Yes, it's A. In the past, stars were used by sailors to navigate. So they were used. So what are we going to fill in the blank with? Yes, it's going to be used. 4. People will remember John Gutenberg for the invention of the printed press. What's the appropriate sentence for that? Yes, it's F. John Gutenberg for the invention of the printing press. What's the appropriate tense in here? He is gonna be he will be remembered. 5. Many people James Cook to be the greatest explorer. What's the tense that matches this one? Sorry, what's the sentence that matches this one? Yes, it's C. James Cook is considered by many people to be the greatest ever explorer. So let's look at the blank. Here we use is considered. That means here we are going to use yes, consider, present. 6. Scientists have developed many forms of renewable energy. What's the appropriate answer here? Yes, it's B. Many forms of renewable energy have been developed by scientists. Exercise 2. Complete the text with the correct passive form of the verbs in brackets. Wiki, websites. Wiki means quick in Hawaiian. The word is used to describe websites that by people who use the site. So what's the correct form of the passive? Yes, that are written. Anyone who visits a wiki website can add or change the information on the page. The first wiki website created by Worth Cunningham in 1995, so it has been created and finished. So what's the correct form of the verb? Yes, was created. Since then, wiki, guidebooks, wiki dictionaries, and wiki encyclopedias on the internet. We have since. So what's the correct form for that? Yes, have been published. The most popular online encyclopedia is Wikipedia. Over 22 million entries since it started. So again, here we have since. So the correct form is have been added, and it is now the most detailed encyclopedia in the world. According to the creator of Wikipedia, the work by 20,000 people who regularly edit the pages. So we have here something that is being done regularly. So we're going to use present simple. So we say is done. The amazing thing is that the information is completely free. Exercise 3. Complete the questions with the correct passive form of the verbs in brackets. 1. What item of clothing wear by doctor? What's the correct form? Yes, is worn. So what item of clothes is worn by doctors? A white coat. Yes. Number 2. Who attacked by a shark in Hawaii in 2003? So this is something that happened and finished. So who was attacked by a shark in Hawaii in 2003? Who was she? Yes, it was Bethany Hamilton. 3. Who called King of the Mile? Yes, so who was called King of the Mile? Think. Yes, Hisham al-Jarushi. Next, which town in Nebraska found in 1902? What's the correct passive form? Yes, was founded. What was that town? Yes, it was Minoe. 5. Which prize by fewer than 160 civilians in the UK? So this is a prize that people have received and still will be receiving in the future. So what's the thing that links the past with the present? It is the present perfect. So we say, which prize has been received by fewer than 160 civilians in UK? Do you remember what is? What was it? Yes, we took it. The George Cross. 6. Which club Amr Zaki chose to play for? So, which club was Amr Zaki chosen to play for? Yes, Wigan. 7. What won by Ernest Hemingway in 1954? Yes. What was won by Ernest Hemingway in 1954? Yes, it was the Nobel Prize for Literature. Finally, name the building in New York which dash used a lighthouse until 1902. This is something that has finished, so we say was used, and it was the Statue of Liberty. Now, let's go to workbook page 80 and start exercise number 1. Write sentences in the past, simple, passive. When we say past, simple, passive, that means we have to use was or were depending on the subject, and we take the verb that's here, the main verb of the sentence, okay, and change it into verb 3. Let's read number 1. This book, right, in 1956. This book was written in 1956. 2. This car we have make in Japan. The correct answer would be this car was made in Japan. 3. The photos taken by my sister. The correct answer is the photos were taken by my sister. We used were because we have photos, which is plural, and verb 3 from take is taken. 4. The crime commit at 5 o'clock this morning. The correct answer is the crime was committed at 5 o'clock this morning. 5. I helped my brother. The correct answer is I was helped by my brother. 6. The pyramids built more than 4,500 years ago. The correct answer is the pyramids were built more than 4,500 years ago. 7. The painting found in an old box. The painting was found in an old box. Exercise 2. Compare these two pictures of the same street. What has changed? Rubbish, pick up. The rubbish has been picked up. So, with the sentences from 1 to 6, we are going to use the present perfect passive. Let's do number 2. Bus stop, repair. We say, the bus stop has been repaired. 3. Flowers, plant. The flowers have been planted. 4. Pavement, clean. The pavement has been cleaned. 5. hedge cut. We're gonna say the hedge has been cut. 6. House. Sell. The house has been sold. Exercise 3. Choose the correct tense in these passive sentences. So, within the sentences from 1 to 5, we're going to have to decide whether to use the past simple form or the present perfect form, and remember to look for keywords. Let's start with number 1. The planet Uranus was or has been discovered over 200 years ago. Where is the keyword? Yes, it's ago. So with ago, what do we use? We use was. 2. Since 2001, over 100 million iPods were or have been sold. Where is the keyword? Yes, since 2001. So what's the correct form? Yes, have been sold. 3. Last year, 10% of all new goods were or have been sold over the internet. Where's the keyword? Yes, last year. So what's the correct answer? Were. 4. Tom wasn't or hasn't been seen since yesterday afternoon. Where's the keyword? Yes, we have since yesterday afternoon. So what's the correct form? Yes, hasn't been seen. 5. This book was just or has just been made into a film. Where's the keyword? Yes, it's just. So, just, do we use it with the present perfect or with the past simple? Yes, the correct answer would be has just been made. Exercise 4. Complete the text. Use the passive form of the verbs in brackets, past simple or present perfect. New solar system discovery. This image was taken by the Gemini Observatory in Hawaii and shows infrared pictures of two planets and a star about 130 light years from Earth. Bruce McIntosh, who dash in the project, who, yes, has been involved. Since that breakthrough could help in the search of other planets like Earth. The planets themselves thought to be between 7 and 10 times the size of Jupiter. Dash form. So they were formed about 60 million years ago and are so young that they are still glowing from the heat that was released when they were created. The two planets again, were discovered in October 2007, but this is the first time that they have been actually photographed. 5. Make the active sentence passive. 1. They sell bread in that shop. Bread is sold in that shop. So, what do we do when we want to change a sentence from the active into passive? First thing that we need to look for is the object. Where is the object of the first sentence? It's bread. So we pick up bread and put it at the beginning of the passive sentence. After that, we look at the verb sell. This is the main verb. What's the tense of the main verb here? It's present simple. So as I told you, what's the appropriate form for present simple? It's either is or are. So because we're talking about bread, it is singular and it is uncountable. That's why we're dealing with it as singular. So use is. What's the verb 3 from sell? It's sold. So that's how we get bread is sold in that shop. They will deliver the letter tomorrow. Where is the object of this sentence? Yes, it's the letter. What's the tense of this sentence? It's future simple because it started with will. So the new sentence will be the letter will be delivered tomorrow. 3. They haven't chosen me for the football team. Where is the object? Yes, it's me. But because here it's in the place of the object, so that's why we used me. When I want to put it in the place of a subject, I don't use me. I'm going to use I. Okay, next. What's the tense here? It's present perfect. So what's the appropriate form of the present perfect from the verb to be? Yes, have been. So I haven't been chosen for the football team. Again, I haven't been chosen, this is the verb 3, for the football team. 4. They repaired my car last week. Think of it. The answer would be my car was repaired last week. 5. They didn't clean the room. Where's the object? The room wasn't cleaned. The room wasn't cleaned. 6. They will probably discover more planets in the future. The correct transformation would be more planets will probably be discovered in the future. And this is all for the passive exercises. For any information, please don't hesitate to contact me. Lots of love and hopes of good health for you and your families, your English teacher.